Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Archetype Learning Solutions channel, where we talk about employee engagement all the time, all things related to employee engagement. And my name is Danielle Lord. I'm the founder and principal of Archetype Learning Solutions. And today I wanted to talk about something that is really impacting all of us. It can impact our engagement. It certainly can impact how we're showing up at work, and a couple strategies and solutions to help with that. So these are strategies that are part of our Employee Engagement Toolkit, which of course is 12 strategies that are all heart-centered strategies, because our main priority, our main goal is to help you have quality daily interactions with your team members so that you can engage everybody every day. It's a really simple solution and strategy, and it costs nothing. That's the beauty of our 12 strategies. So I'm going to thread three things together, two of our strategies, one called the daily dose, which I've talked about as well, and one called one strategy, which is strategy number 4, and that is re-recruiting. And then I'm also going to thread in a topic that's always important to be considering, and that's the topic of transitions. So let's start off by talking about transitions and what they are. Transitions, so the concept of transitions, as it relates mainly to change management, was introduced by Dr. William Bridges back in the 1960s, I believe. And his strategy around change management, which is usually related to how we interact with new processes, new individuals, et cetera, through a change event that's occurring within the organization, which could be a merger and acquisition. It could be a new process, a new computer system. Word just went right out of my head. RIF, reduction in force. So that's also a major change event. But Dr. Bridges' work said it's not the change that's difficult, it's the transition, which is that period in the middle that he calls the neutral zone, which happens when something ends and before something kind of actually has reached its place of being a new beginning. Now, I have a whole body of work on transitions. If that's something that you're interested in, you can check out those tools on my website as well. But today I wanted to couch it in terms of how it impacts employee engagement overall. So with that, understanding this idea of transitions in the workplace, they happen to us collectively because it's typically a change that's been imposed upon us. And so collectively, as a team or an entire organization, we're kind of navigating this change all together. The idea of a transition is that everyone navigates that through that neutral zone at their own speed. And so oftentimes what happens is we have the early adopters who are super excited and they're ready to jump in with the next phase. And they are going to show up differently than the folks who are still kind of lingering in making their way through the neutral zone. Again, if you need additional information on this, I have a whole transitions toolkit on my website. But today we're talking about it in terms of employee engagement. And so how do you take that group of folks that's kind of dragging their feet maybe, or might be stuck in this place of the neutral zone? They're uncertain as to what the change means for them. They're uncertain of how to navigate the new technology. It could be a RIF, reduction in force, meaning that you oftentimes have survivor's guilt that is a result of somebody losing their BFW, or as Gallup calls it, their best friend at work. I call it a BFW. So the best way to help folks navigate through the transitions is to make sure that you're giving them the daily dose. And the daily dose, for reminder, is the brain chemicals that create a sense of well-being or a sense of happiness. And those are dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. And so we need these brain chemicals to create that sense of positivity, well-being, and happiness. And we need these things every day. And so when we're going through a place of transitions or a significant change that might be impacting us, it becomes even more important to make sure we're giving our team members the daily dose of happy brain chemicals so that they can feel good about where they're at, the work that they might be doing, especially if it's new work for them, making sure that we're celebrating those baby steps and those milestones can be really impactful. Also, re-recruiting folks can be really important at this point in time, and especially if there's been a reduction in force, or what we call a RIF, because there's a lot of people who might be wondering, okay, when's the next shoe going to drop? And am I going to be the next one to go? That's possible. I've been through experienced rifts where we've had multiple different phases. So it is possible that there could be a phase 2 and a phase 3 that's coming along, but we still have to make sure that we're keeping those folks engaged and not getting into that place of pity city, or when's the next shoe going to drop, or should I be concerned about my job? Because we need them to be fully functioning to the best of their abilities. So using the re-recruit strategy can be very powerful as well, and making sure that the folks understand that while we're not certain of the future, we're certain that we're still glad that you're with us and you're here today and still part of the team. The other part about transitions and engagement overall is new work that surfaced from Bruce Felier. And Bruce, I'm always hoping that I'm pronouncing your name correctly. But he has a new book that's come out, which is Transitions in Life, I believe is the title of his book. And he makes the claim, and I fully support this, that as individuals, adults functioning in the larger society, we have life quakes or life events that happen to us as adults every 18 months, thereabouts. And so any employee in your team or your organization may be experiencing a life event or a life quake. If it's a really big event, momentous, like a death or a divorce, they might be experiencing something that's even impacting them outside of the workplace. So recognizing the signs and symptoms of grief, anxiety, and depression can be very, very important, and understanding that there might be a transition that your team member is going through outside of the workplace. And so how can we, again, create that sense of well-being and happiness in a good space for them to feel and experience when they come to work? So there you go, my little tidbits today on how we use our engagement tools in a variety of ways, not just to make sure people are engaged and doing the best that they can for you, but also to help them through some of those rough times, rough patches that they may encounter collectively as an entire organization or individually as they experience life quakes. So 2 of the strategies highlighted here today: re-recruiting and the daily dose. And if you've got any questions about engagement, transitions, leadership, drop a comment below or feel free to connect with me directly. And I'll make sure that we get a couple of tools loaded into the links below so that you can access that information. And if this content resonates with you, please like, share, subscribe, and again, leave a comment, question, thought below, and I'll happy to answer and engage with you in that dialogue as well. All right, that's it for now. Until I think of more exciting and entertaining topics to bring you, Danielle Lord for Archetype Learning Solutions, where we talk about employee engagement. Thanks so much.